The nightmare began with an eerie shift in Liba's demeanor. At first, no one thought much of it. Children imagine things, they said. But soon, fear began to crawl beneath her skin. Raw, constant, and growing. She claimed to see things no one else could. Horrible things. Liba would stare into empty spaces and tremble, pointing at something only she could see. Most often, she described a black, coiled snake, thick as a thigh, eyes glowing, sitting right before her. And there were other creatures too, crawling and lurking. Her family dismissed it as childish fright until the fire. One evening, flames erupted in the old kitchen, long abandoned and stuffed with junk. The blaze surged with unnatural fury. Amid the chaos, the narrator's aunt saw something impossible. A figure in red shoes standing within the firelight. Suspicion immediately ignited. Liba's father accused the narrator's family. After all, one of their brothers owned such shoes. The fire destroyed most of the kitchen. And as the family screamed and scrambled, Liba stood eerily calm, gazing into the fire with eyes that glowed faintly red. After that night, Liba spiraled. She collapsed without warning. When she woke, she would speak cryptic phrases, recounting things she shouldn't know, things no child should. Whispers swept through the village. Black magic, some said. A curse, others insisted. An old man mentioned a shaitan Jinn. Liba's father refused to believe it until night fell. Each night, Liba would scream in terror, thrashing and crying, saying he would. One night, she shrieked, "He won't leave me!" A violent wind tore through the room. Curtains flared. The narrator heard whispers just outside the window, though the yard stood empty. Liba stopped bathing. She refused to eat food cooked in the house. One afternoon, they found her beside the pond, devouring a raw fish, eyes empty, mouth bleeding. The family tried everything. They brought priests, used sacred water, holy chants, burning incense, protective amulets. Nothing worked. Liba only smiled at them with a voice that did not belong to her. "You don't know who I am. I cannot be stopped." One dusky evening, she walked barefoot into the bamboo grove near the house. Neighbors gasped. They saw a floating figure trailing behind her, moving unnaturally, twisting like smoke. The search party found her deep inside, muttering in tongues, surrounded by an unnatural chill. That night, shadows danced across the walls. Objects fell without being touched. Doors rattled in their frames. After Maghrib prayer, Liba sat in a trance, her voice no longer human. "Why has he returned?" she hissed. "You don't know who I am. She claimed she had to return to that place where he waits. She said he sat on her shoulder, that her ribs were cracking under the weight. In a frenzy, she ran toward the pond. A goat darted ahead of her and jumped in, then vanished beneath the surface. Liba stood at the water's edge, screaming to the heavens. Locks on her room unlatched by themselves. Bolts shifted with no hand. They found her more than once, standing by the pond at dawn, eyes ablaze, muttering and laughing through her tears. Her father, desperate, summoned a priest from the distant town, known for dealing with things unholy. He came with incense, holy scripts, and a small iron box. After the evening prayer, the priest drew a protective circle. Liba sat in the center, trembling. The ritual began. Chants, commands, flames that refused to flicker. When nothing happened, the priest summoned his bound spirit to call the invader forth. And then it came. A mass of smoke and fire, twisted into the shape of a man, appeared in the room. The temperature dropped. The lights flickered. The priest confronted it. "Why are you here?" The Jinn's voice was slow, venomous. "She stepped on me. At the pond, I was resting. She hurt me." The priest threatened to trap the creature in a bottle of copper, but it laughed. Eventually, under threat of eternal binding, it agreed to leave on one condition: a live goat, a large ruhi fish, 2 silver hilsha, 10. They complied. When the priest agreed, Liba collapsed. At that very moment, a heavy mango tree branch in the courtyard cracked and fell, though the air was still. The priest stood, sweat shining on his brow. It is done. The Jinn has left her. The offerings were left as requested. The next morning, they found torn sweet wrappers, fish bones, and blood smeared on the tree trunk. Liba woke up quiet. Her eyes were no longer red. Her laughter no longer echoed through the halls. But the family still avoids the pond after sunset. They never rebuilt the old kitchen. And sometimes, on windless nights, the curtains still move on their own.